Hi there, students. So, a shout out. I think this can either be one word, two words, or it can have a hyphen. I would recommend hyphenated though. Let's see, a shout out is where you mention somebody, or you show respect for somebody while you're making a recording or you're broadcasting, particularly on the radio, on television, or on the internet like this. So I would like to give a shout out for Helen, who is the person who got me interested in words and the way words are used when I was a kid. Okay, so you give somebody a shout out, yeah, particularly to give. So sometimes during live streams, I give people shout outs. Although it's not very often that I give people a shout out. Okay, so this is to give somebody a mention, a credit, a greeting. Particularly during a live performance. This is something I think that was particularly common during hip hop and dance music. But a shout out, this is an occasion where you mention a person or a thing in order to thank them and praise them. So I want to give a shout out to my grandma who helped me a lot. Okay, so there are several restaurants that I quite like, but I think maybe Hui Kitchen is one that is definitely worth a shout out. Okay, so it's something that you're where you talk about it on live, or you talk about it during a recording. So a shout out, to give somebody a shout out. Notice this comes from the phrasal verb to shout out, to yell or say something loudly or aggressively. The kids were shouting out their answers. Yeah, and that's the phrasal verb. But here we have the phrasal noun of the same thing. So very often I think a shout out, it doesn't have to be scripted. It could be scripted as well, part of the script. It's when you say the name of a viewer or a member of the audience while on stage. So let's see, who am I going to give a shout out to? Well, I would definitely like to give a shout out to Ronan. I'd like to give a shout out to Patricia. I think I'd like to give a shout out to Oksana. Okay, so thank you all for your long-term constant support. A shout out maybe to Manuel as well. So yeah, if you're listening, you'll know you'll know who you are. Okay, what I've done there is a shout out, is giving various people a shout out. Okay, so you're mentioning somebody in order to thank them or praise them. It's a public expression of praise or acknowledgement, normally as part of a performance or a broadcast or part of a recording. So here it will be the shout outs that I've given will be for posterity. Okay, I even gave a shout out to one of my former teachers and encouraged other people to do the same. Okay, so a shout out. This is a public greeting to a named person on something that's going to be broadcast publicly. It's like a compliment. You're praising them. You're saying what a wonderful person they are. A shout out, to give someone a shout out, that's not normally the structure. I think to give someone a shout out, maybe for informality, use informally, semi-formal conversation, semi-formal writing, but you probably ought to stop there. So to give someone a shout out.